Welcome, viewers and listeners, to the Health Revolution, the program that shows you how to have a life of vibrant well-being. In a world full of noisy health trends, we bring you clarity. In a sea of fads, we reveal the science-backed strategies that truly work. We explore physical strength, emotional resilience, and mental mastery. These are the keys to an enriched life. Join us for inspiring interviews with champions who conquered life's health challenges, fueling your journey. Are you ready to unlock your potential? To live with vitality and purpose? Then join the Health Revolution. I'm your host, Adriana Morrison, health and fitness expert, speaker, and a mom who understands. Let's embark on this transformative quest. Together, we're about to change the game, starting now. The information provided in this show is intended for educational and entertainment purposes only. Viewers should use their own discretion and consult with a healthcare professional for personalized guidance and recommendations. Hi, everybody. Welcome. And you are watching The Health Revolution. I'm your host, Adriana Morrison, and we're excited that you are joining us today. And no matter which way you're tuning into us, please do not forget to hit the subscribe button. We want to stay connected to you. Also, keep in mind at the bottom of your screen, there's a little tab for show notes. You are going to want to reference the information for today's episode. And today's episode is a real treat because we are delving into innovation in health and nutrition and what it can do for the body. And this is something that we all need to be taking a look at. I'm excited about our conversations today that we are having with our guest. And as we are going to introduce you to him, take a look at this video. Meet Dr. Vincent Candrawinata, a pioneer from the University of Newcastle, Australia. His research has led to the development of a revolutionary extraction technology that harnesses the power of natural phenolic compounds. These potent antioxidants are known for reducing the risk of chronic diseases, such as cardiovascular and respiratory conditions, and even cancer. Dr. Vincent founded Renovatio Bioscience to bring this scientific breakthrough to the public, aiming to enhance global health. In 2015, his exceptional talents were recognized when he was honored as the youngest ever to receive the Australian government's Distinguished Talent in Research and Academia. Dr. Vincent continues to push the boundaries of nutritional science, aiming to foster a healthier, happier world. Dr. Vincent Candrawinata, welcome to the Health Revolution. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you for having me on. It's such an honor, and I'm so looking forward to chatting with you about everything health, especially inflammation, and the revolutionary technology that I invented back in my research day at the University of Newcastle.
You know, let's get right into it. What drove you to go down this path, to study health in this manner? Was there anything along your journey that was just the catalyst of you putting your focus on this path?
I think it all started back when I was a little kid. My mom was a pastry chef, so she had her own bakery and patisserie, and from very, very early on in life, I was helping her in the kitchen, and I really do think that shaped my interest when it comes to food, not only from the culinary part, but also from the science, as well as from the nutrition part, because I can always remember my mom, with her limited science knowledge at that time, was trying to explain to me the reason why when you whip egg white, for example, it changes, the property changes from being a liquid to semi-solid when it comes to, making meringue, or how yeast works in terms of leavening the bread. And when the time came for me to decide what to study, what major to take in my university journey, I chose food technology, which then developed into food science and human nutrition as well, because um, like the old adage say, food is medicine, and whatever that you put into your body can either harm you or help you. And without realizing it, what I did in the kitchen with my mom literally determined what I did in the university and still doing today. And I have tremendous gratitude when it comes to, you know, uh, the mentoring and the coaching that my mom instilled in me, even when she herself wasn't a scientist. But from a very young age, my parents taught me that it is important to always grow in life and help make a difference. And the reason why I wanted to become a scientist initially and still today, to help people to have a better life. I know that in the world now where Elon Musk wants to go to Mars, and everybody, all the scientists, all the so-called smart people want to have a space race. My dream, some people might think that it's quite simple, but my dream is to help people live happily and healthier, because uh, you don't realize how important health is, how important being healthy is, until that health is being taken away from you. So prevention is better than cure. So here I am on the journey to help people be the healthiest they can be.
So when we talk about food science and studying that, what did you notice along the way in your studies and some trends that were coming up that maybe it takes a while for society to catch on?
I think that one of the most interesting things that I found out as I was studying nutrition, especially, was that there really isn't one food item that is really good for you or really bad for you. I really do think that a lot of us, we focus too much on the trend. We focus too much on the fancy term. I still remember when acai berry was the craze, was the trend. But if you actually look into the science part, if you actually pick it apart and you really study the molecules and how they actually impact our health, uh, everyday fruit like apples or oranges are actually far healthier compared to the acai berry. It's just that we in Australia, or you guys in America, you don't really hear and come across acai berry every day. But if you're asking people from Brazil, for example, this acai berry, while it's amazing, it's an everyday thing. It's a staple fruit in their diet. So I do think that there there need to be a movement in terms of people like you, people like me, to communicate the science part of a health trend. And it's really encouraging, because I read somewhere that ever since COVID happened, when people look for health information on Google, for the first time in 2021, if I'm not mistaken, people search for health without the additional part of the vanity. So it's not like how to lose 10 pounds in 3 days, or how to, flatten your tummy in 2 days. But people really are much more open and much more willing in terms of learning the science part, the real part of being healthy, without the additional or the motivation of just the vanity aspect.
So you talked a little bit as you and I before today. You were talking about the focus of phenolic compounds and just the impact it's had in just being the backbone of Renovatio Bioscience. And talk a little bit for viewers who don't know what phenolic compounds are and the impact that it has on the body.
Yeah, thanks for going into the phenolic antioxidants, because those compounds are literally my life since 2010. And a lot of people probably discount the amazingness, or the fantastic aspect of coincidence in life. I actually came to Australia from Indonesia to study my bachelor degree from 2008 initially, until 2011, because it takes 3 years to complete your bachelor degree in Australia. However, coming from a developing country, from middle class family, studying in Australia was very expensive. So young Vincent was devising a plan that instead of doing my bachelor degree in 3 years, I did it in 2 years. Not because I was extremely smart, I was just a little bit poor. So I completed my bachelor degree in 2 years, and I had 1 year left on my student visa. And I remember at that time, the university was offering me to study apple from orange. Not being from Australia, I didn't know that orange was actually a name of a place instead of fruit. I thought that we were going to do some Harry Potter thing, turning oranges into apples, but that's not the case. It was literally to study apples and the amazing health benefiting compounds called phenolic antioxidants grown in a region called orange. And if people who are familiar with antioxidants or phenolic antioxidants, majority of the scientists in the world, in most universities, most research centers, we are all in agreement that phenolic antioxidants are like the holy grail of antioxidants, in that it has a far better capability to neutralize free radicals. Free radicals are like pollutants trying to steal electrons from our cells, making it broken, making it unstable. So phenolic antioxidants neutralize these free radicals, protecting our cells from getting inflamed, from getting mutated, basically help sacrificing themselves and put a barrier between our cells and free radicals. The issue with phenolic antioxidants is that while they are extremely healthy and extremely potent, before my technology came along, there was not a way to create and extract phenolic antioxidants without the use of any chemical solvents. So in 2012, I invented a technology where we learn and discover a method to manipulate the behavior of water molecules to do the extraction for us. And the result of this technology was that the extract, the compounds that we are extracting, in this case from apples, they are biologically compatible with our body. The issue with conventional extraction techniques that involve chemical solvents is that when you extract some things using chemical solvents or solvents that our body doesn't have, and you introduce it back to our body can't recognize it. And if your body can't recognize it, it can't utilize it. And this is the reason why there are a lot of critics about health supplements or antioxidant supplements, in that they say that when you take health supplements or antioxidants, vitamins, you're basically just creating an expensive urine because your body will just flush it. As a matter of fact, EFSA, so European Food Science Authority, in 2010 published probably one of the longest population study tracking the health progression of people who had been taking antioxidant supplements such as vitamin E or selenium. And surprisingly, they actually found that people who have been taking it for years, their risk of developing cancer is actually higher. And while this is baffling and puzzling, my research team later learned that it's because when antioxidant supplement being introduced to the body and your body is not able to use it, these antioxidant supplements can turn into compounds that are named pro-oxidant. So instead of being anti-oxidation, they're actually promoting oxidation. And this transformation, the risk of this antioxidant being transformed into pro-oxidant, actually increases the chance of, or the risk of, people developing cancers. And this is why, I am, based on my scientific background knowledge, I understand why some people are very critical of health supplements. And the encouraging development now is that people and consumers are more willing to learn, and this is why it was actually such a great progression of my career from being a scientist and working in the lab to now communicating this breakthrough to the world.
So I have a question. So the pro-oxidants, so this is obviously, that's a turn of events, and that's not something that, say, we would want when we are, when we've been taking supplements and the goal is to enhance our antioxidant levels. Has this been something that has, in the scientific community, Has this been something that's been hard to get around with for some time? Have we known about this for a while? Has this been a recent discovery in the last maybe, last 2 decades? Or what's your take on what you've noticed? And is this recent? Is this new news?
Yes and no. So research into antioxidants have been happening for the last 8 to 9 decades, so 80, 90 years. And ever since vitamin C was discovered, which was great because it's water soluble, soldiers or Navy soldiers who were suffering scurvy because they were being deployed on the sea, and supplementing them with orange slices actually really helps. But the issue with synthetic antioxidant or antioxidant extracted using chemical solvents is that when your body can't utilize and absorb and utilize these compounds, the two major detoxification organs that need to deal with these compounds would be your liver and your kidney. I'll give you an everyday example. For example, when you drink a lot of carrot juice or celery juice, or when you eat a lot of blueberry pies, for example, I love blueberry pies, what you will notice is that it can actually mess up with the digestive systems. So you either it changes the color of your urine, or you go to the toilet a lot more, and your body's basically flushing them out. Because if these compounds floating around in your body being unabsorbed and unutilized, they can actually pose a lot more danger than benefits to your body. So this is something that, while we might not realize it, has been happening, and doctors know about this, researchers know about this. Unfortunately, there wasn't a way before I invented the technology to allow these antioxidants to be absorbed at the cellular level so that your body can utilize it. And that's the reason why, while antioxidants and antioxidant supplements are trending from 10 years ago, 15 years ago, companies could only market it as anti-aging. So a lot of people equate or relate the term antioxidants and anti-aging, because for so long, antioxidants that are produced using chemical solvent can only affect our body skin deep, basically. And that's the reason why when you say antioxidant, the first thing that people think of is anti-aging. However, antioxidants do so much more than that when it is being deployed correctly, because what we are tackling here is not the anti-aging part. Aging is a symptom. It's as a result of a root cause of biological process in our body. What really happens in our body is what we call inflammation. So there are three leading causes of us getting sick. Genetic conditions, for example. The second one is infection, be it viral or bacterial. The third one is inflammation. So things like cancers, things like cardiovascular diseases, allergy, pulmonary diseases, at the cellular level, they all started because the cells get inflamed. And I understand in the world where we all have a attention lifespan of a squirrel or a goldfish, we don't necessarily connect inflammation and diseases because the progression of the timeline of the progression of these degenerative diseases can take years, months, even years or decades. So you don't necessarily connect the two dots together. However, one of the things that people really notice when we talk about inflammation is pain. Pain is caused by inflammation. A lot of times when people when people want to deal with pain, they just take painkiller. However, if you actually address the root cause of the problem, which is inflammation, not only you are reducing and managing the pain, you're also allowing your body to heal itself. Because when your body is too busy dealing with inflammation, so just imagine if your body is a house, right, or a temple, and inflammation is fire. So when the house or your house is under fire, is on fire, obviously your first priority is to put out the fire. You don't have any time to decorate your house. You don't have any time to clean it, because all of your effort and energy and time are being invested into putting out fires. So that's the same with our body. When your body is undergoing inflammation, it's not that you're suddenly getting sick. It's just that your brain is deploying everything in your body's disposal, including your immune system, your hormonal system, to deal with the inflammation. And the result of this is that everything else that are also important but not as high in the priority list, they are getting neglected.
And I want to pick up, this conversation is getting really fascinating. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We will be right back. Stay right there. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back after this. Hello, health enthusiasts. It's Adriana here on Fit Bites. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of gut health and our microbiome. Let's explore how nurturing our gut can boost our overall wellness. Our gut microbiome is a complex community of bacteria, fungi, and viruses that live in our digestive tract. It affects everything from digestion to our immune system and even our mood. So, how do we keep our gut happy? First, diversity in our diet is key. Eating a wide range of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains feeds the beneficial bacteria in our gut. Probiotics are also vital. Foods like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, and kimchi are rich in live cultures that can help balance out our gut flora. Fiber is a microbiome's best friend. It's not digested by our bodies, but it's used by our gut bacteria to thrive and multiply. So load up on fiber-rich foods. Also, remember that hydration plays a role. Drinking plenty of fluids maintains the mucosal lining of the intestines and keeps the gut bacteria healthy. Lastly, limiting stress is crucial, as stress can negatively impact your gut health. Practices like regular exercise, meditation, and proper sleep can help manage stress effectively. Incorporate these steps into your daily routine, and your gut will thank you. Stay tuned for more Fit Bites, and here's to a healthy gut leading to a happier you.
Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversations. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Welcome back to the Health Revolution. Welcome back, everybody. My guest today, Dr. Vincent Candrawinata. He is the founder of Renovatio Bioscience, and we're diving into innovation when it comes to health and nutrition, linking the two and really amplifying our health in so many different ways. And Dr. Vincent, before the break, we were talking about, and you were highlighting three areas that really grabbed my attention. So you talked about how antioxidants, how this type of nutrients takes how it impacts genetics, inflammation, and then infection. Can you break down how the genetic component is impacted by levels of antioxidants and where deficits are, and then the same thing with infection and inflammation?
Yeah, of course. That was probably one of the best questions ever being asked to me in terms of connecting the three classes of things that can make us sick or fall sick. Inflammations, because our body is made out of trillions and trillions of cells. So when we make our cells healthy, it will manifest in terms of a healthy body. When it comes to things like inflammation that's impacting the genetic expression of our health, take things like people who suffer from dairy intolerant, or people who suffer from celiac disease or gluten intolerant. What happened when they actually being exposed to these food items that their body are intolerant to? Their body, especially their gut and intestinal lining, get inflamed. And one of the way that you fix that is obviously removing the causes of the inflammation, but also there is another way to build resilience and resistance toward developing this inflammation caused by either dairy or gluten. Obviously, I'm not talking about people who are completely celiac, because this is something that their body are just not able to digest gluten. But a lot of people who are sensitive towards this substance, and even people who are not gluten intolerant, for example, when they change their diet into gluten-free diet, people think that when you are changing your diet into gluten-free diet, you will start losing weight, you will start feel more energized and everything, which is true. However, the reason is actually not really the gluten bit. It is actually because when you have a dietary restriction or requirement, you are more likely to prepare your food from fresh. It means that you're cutting out all of these additives that some of us can't even pronounce the name, and you know exactly what you're putting into your body. And secondly, by eating this healthier food, as well as excluding those food items that can cause inflammation, you are reducing your inflammation level in the gut. And we do know that 70% of our body health originate from gut. And this is how reducing inflammation can actually not negate, but manage the genetic expression that your body is probably undergoing. The same thing with infection. During the height of COVID, we do know that people with underlying conditions would react badly towards catching COVID, which is an infection, because one of the way of our body fighting infection is by deploying our immune system armies. And this alone is a type of controlled inflammation to kill off either the bacteria or the virus or pathogen that are invading our body. However, people who are experiencing inflammation are more likely to lose control of this targeted inflammation to kill off the pathogens, the invaders. And when this inflammation get out of hand, again, I'm using the example of fire. Fire is very useful. You can use it, to heat up food, or I'm talking about like back in the day where fire is literally a source of life for our ancestor. However, when you lose control of that fire and it becomes uncontrollable, that's when everything in the body goes downhill. And this is the reason why I feel that a lot more people need to understand more about inflammation, because while it is not as urgent, quote unquote, as things like infection, these are the foundation of our health. And by making sure that your body is at a tip-top shape when it comes to inflammation, your body is much more able to deal with pain, to deal with energy, to regulate hormone, to increase its resistance towards developing degenerative diseases and towards fighting off pathogens, viruses, and bacteria. So this is something that I really think that we can do every day. One of the things that I'm really interested to share is because this comes from my own experience. When I invented the technology in 2012, not long after that, I went back to Indonesia to see my family. And when I went back to Indonesia, I was actually really sad to see my grandma, because my grandma, who used to be a ballroom dancer, was basically wheelchair bound because she was suffering from rheumatoid arthritis on both of her knees. And she came from a generation where the word surgery was very scary for her. So she didn't want to go through the knee replacement surgery. And knowing that the root cause of the issue, in this case, pain, is the inflammation. So I said to my grandma, I said that I'm working on this substance in the lab, and if you don't mind, I'll send you some samples when I went back home to Australia. And she said that, okay, she will try it. And I went back to Australia, and this is me, a 20-something-year-old person, and didn't even think of the ramification, or what could be the ramification of sending powders in unlabeled plastic bag cross-border from Australia to Indonesia. But anyway, they arrived. My grandma took it for 3 months, and she and my grandpa came to visit me and my sister, and she was walking what is equivalent to probably 4 miles. I still remember when I picked her up at the airport, I was looking out for people who were being wheeled out in a wheelchair, right? But to my surprise, she was walking. She's still walking. She is now doing line dancing, which I know is ballroom dancing. But to see that makes me really happy. And that unexpected experience that I had was actually the main reason why I'm doing what I'm doing now, in terms of being an entrepreneur. Because my grandma, at my graduation, my grandma asked me what I was going to do next. At that time, I was already teaching. I was an academic and planned to be an academic for the rest of my life. She asked me, and I said that, I'm just continuing doing this. And then my grandma was actually, she got really passionate and almost angry when I answered her question. And she was like, no, you have to do something with your technology, because what goods can it do to people if it's just collecting dust in the library? I'm not insinuating that University of Newcastle library is dusty. No. I'm just saying this is an expression, right? A metaphor. And my grandma told me that, I had given her the best gift in life, which is a gift of new life. And she wanted me to do that for other people. My grandma said that, I know you scientists want to change the world, but perhaps you don't have to change the world. You just have to change someone's world as you have changed mine. And that was very profound to me. And that's the reason why I named the company Renovatio. In Latin, it means new life.
Yes, and that's a remarkable story. And honestly, there are sometimes the decisions that we make in life have everything to do with our experience with those closest to us. And that's so profound that your grandmother went from, a ballroom dancer to a wheelchair to then literally turning things around and being back on her feet. And, and so I can't help but wonder, as you had that as a personal experience underneath your belt, what was it like to put pen to pad, start the foundation of the company, and what helped you really drive the needle forward, and what are some of the feedbacks that you've gotten from the scientific community?
It was really amazing in the way that I knew that I was onto something when a big corporation wanted to buy the research, and that was the reason why the university helped me to patent the research. It prompted them to secure the research, which I am forever grateful, because being a scientist at that time, I never thought of that kind of thing. We're just very simple. We work in the lab, we do 1,000 experiments, and hopefully one work and one work. So that was my first ever experience in terms of being faced with a choice whether you sell the research or you utilize the research in terms of trying to achieve your dream. I have to say that the transition from being a scientist and I still am a scientist. We still do research, but perhaps the more appropriate word is transitioning from being an academic to entrepreneur. I feel that there is a lot of things that can bring you down when you're an entrepreneur, because a lot of people don't understand what you're doing, and b try to knock you down in the way that, why are you leaving a comfortable, cushy job for something that may not pan out? But I always, my mom said that when you have a dream, it is not other people's job to understand your dream. It is your job to understand your dream. They can only understand results. So it's up to you. If you want to make them understand what you are trying to achieve, you need to show them results. And I do believe that when you start something with a good heart, the universe around you conspires to help you. And I feel that while I work really, really hard, I've also had a lot of lucky breaks, because I have been placed on a path where I met amazing people who put faith in me. Something that I really am very, very proud and humbled at the same time, in terms of realizing this dream and my grandma's dream. And I still remember when as I was finishing my PhD. I submitted that just before Christmas break, and I was told that it probably can take at least 3 months, if not 6 to 9 months, in terms of getting the feedback back from, because it's a peer-reviewed journey. So they send it anonymously to leaders or researcher in the field to be able to examine the PhD thesis, and then advise the university whether to grant the PhD title or something else needs to be done. And it was such a surprise to me that it only took two weeks for the thesis to the examining thesis to come back.
Fast. Wow.
And I was really happy. I think the most that I had to do was because English is not my first language, so some grammatical error, and off we go. And I knew that I was onto something. I just didn't know how to use it or how to apply it until my grandma gave me the talk of.
Yes. And, one thing I do recognize, and you're right about the entrepreneur spirit, that you're going to have a mixture of opinions, but I can certainly see how you wanted to continue the path of tweaking and refining and really seeing where this can go versus just and this is me envisioning the scientific setting where maybe you don't have the space to just concentrate all of your effort on say where this is going, the really embellishing on the phenolic compounds and just and harnessing what it can do for the body. And before we go to break, we have our next break coming up, but I'm curious to see, so in terms of starting the company and seeing where and envisioning things, and I could tell how excited you are. What was the one thing that your vision for what this does for others? What's the one vision that you do have for this to do?
I want to change people's life, because by making them healthier and hopefully happier as a result of being healthy, because time is precious. I lost my grandpa during COVID, and one of the regrets I have in life, I don't have many, was not being able to actually go back because of travel restriction. And that really puts everything into perspective in terms of time is precious. It doesn't matter how young you are or how old you are, you never know how much time you have left. I'm not saying that to scare people. I'm just saying this, that we need to maximize the quality of life, because you don't want to be living until 120 years old, but if you're bedridden or if you're wheelchair bound because of pain and because of immobility. So the only thing that we can control is not how much time we have, but the quality of life in the time that are being trusted to us. And I really want people to really take this message to heart, because making simple changes in life, in your everyday life, can mean that you are increasing the quality of life, not only for yourself, but it will impact positively your relationship with other people in your life. And this is something that I learned and I want to impart to others as well.
We're going to take a quick commercial break. Stay right there. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back after this. Thank you so much for watching The Health Revolution. Our show is growing, and it's all thanks to viewers like you. No matter how you found us, please hit the subscribe button so we can stay connected and continue to deliver amazing content to you.
Life is so fragile, and we're constantly reminded just how fragile life can be, especially when we or a loved one is told we have cancer. Cancer survivor myself, I can tell you, we still feel very alone in this journey.
There's a study that's been shown that patients who are socially isolated have a worse prognosis, have a worse outcome than patients who are socially interconnected.
Buddies for Life is a non-profit cancer support group for those whose life has been impacted by cancer. Humor, hope, heart, and hugs.
Humor, hope, heart, hugs, and a whole lot of love.
Share this with your friends and family and support this community in every way you can. No one should face cancer alone.
I am a chemo buddy for life.
We are a buddies network.
No one does cancer alone.
Be a buddy.
And we are all here for you as a community of love.
We are chemo buddies for life.
And if you've heard 3 words, you have cancer, for yourself or someone else, you belong with us at Chemo Buddies for Life.
Healing through connections.
And now we want to give special thanks to Biomed Mobile IV for sponsoring the Health Revolution. Biomed Mobile IV is Colorado's top mobile IV therapy service, servicing throughout the state of Colorado. They offer an array of vitamins and above and beyond safety preparation. Biomed Mobile IV, your dedication to health and wellness is exactly what our show is all about. And we thank you for your support. Welcome back to the Health Revolution. Welcome back, everyone. My guest today, Dr. Vincent Candrawinata. He is the founder of Renovatio Bioscience, and we're talking about innovation in health and our nutrient intake. And one thing I wanted to ask you, Dr. Vincent, is can you elaborate just a little bit on the link between phenolic compounds and cancer prevention? How would you describe that bridge between the two?
Phenolic antioxidants, when being deployed correctly, it can actually protect the cells from inflammation and therefore protecting our cells from mutation. One of the reasons why cancers are so hard to target when it comes to curing cancers or putting cancers into remission was because you are basically fighting a raw agent that originate from your own body. So your own cells are undergoing mutation and becomes rogue and wild and start causing problem in the body. And the reason why mutation happen, or one of the reasons why mutation happen, obviously genetic plays an important role as well. But when it comes to nature versus nurture, the nurture part is the inflammation. So when cells are undergoing inflammation and not being resolved for a very long time, what happens is that these cells will try to defend itself against the inflammation. And one of the way that living being, ourselves included, fighting off the external pressure is by mutating, by adapting and therefore mutating. And this mutation is the root cause of cancer cells. The issue that that your body is undergoing probably originated from decades ago, or because your cells are being exposed to irritants, pollutants, radiation that prompted that cells to fight for their survival. And this is also the reason why cancer cells are the survival rate of cancer cells are actually really high, and on average higher than our normal cells, because we are basically putting them in the situation where they have to fight. And deploying antioxidants, in this case phenolic antioxidants, in the right way can actually protect these cells from suffering through this inflammation, and preventing the cells from being mutated. And this is the reason why there's a lot of research and studies that link the positive effect in terms of health benefits in reducing cancer risk when you consume a lot of fresh fruit and vegetables. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Those are all the things that generations before us understand this. I mean, we name our products an apple a day, out of the adage, right? An apple a day keeps the doctor away. But what was really interesting was because an apple a day keeps the doctor away, this adage actually existed and survives through generation, not only in the Western culture, but also in the Chinese medicine culture. So in the Eastern cultures, there is not a lot of adage or sayings that exist and survive through generation in both cultures. What it's saying to us is that generations before us, while they couldn't understand and explain the scientific reasons behind it, they documented that people who are eating apples or fresh fruit or fresh vegetables actually have a better health outcome. It's just that because science advances, we now understand that it is the phenolic antioxidants that helps that.
And I do want to make sure that we hold space. I want you to talk a little bit about Renovatio Bioscience. What is the lineup of what you offer for just for the products?
So we have two lines. The first one is the health and wellness line. We have things like apple cider vinegar, activated phenolics, an apple a day, immunity supplement, basically substances that you can take every day to increase your chance at being healthier in life. The other range that we have is the AppSkin, which is the antioxidant skincare range, which again was discovered or invented by so-called accident, because a customer who were using our supplements, who suffered from a really bad sunburn, decided to put our powder topically. And to our surprise, the activated phenolic substance actually helped to reduce inflammation topically as well. So I went back to the lab, tried to fine-tune the extraction technology to make sure that we have vehicles to deliver these antioxidant activated phenolics so that it can be absorbed through skin as well. One of the I mean, you were talking about all the challenges and hurdles of being an entrepreneur, but I also have to highlight that there are a lot of fun stuff of being an entrepreneur, because you basically, and I can say this because I've lived in both worlds, as you know, academic world as well as my scientific community colleague will hate me for saying this, as well as in the real world. You know, the fun stuff is that you can really see science in action helping people. I remember when we were challenged by one of our client, which is the biggest supermarket in Australia, Woolworths, to come up with a better quality, better performing apple cider vinegar. We were like, okay. Again, I always welcome any reason to go back in the lab. Within 6 weeks, we developed an activated apple cider vinegar for them. And within 6 months, we took over almost 30% of market share of the leading brand, because we believe that when it comes to health supplements and skincare, you can do all the fancy advertisement that you want to do, and sometimes it helps. At least it makes people try it for the first time. But the most powerful form of marketing is people experiencing the benefit of the products. And we don't have a huge range because I believe that I need to be true to myself. When we put things out there, those are the things that will actually work and change your lives. And we hold one of the highest loyalty rate of health and skincare product in Australia, because people find that it works. Not only they buy time again, they actually introduce our products to other people. And I really still do believe that I'm an old school, but I still do believe that when it comes to things that affect your health, things like vitamins, supplements, and even skincare, word of mouth. If your brother, your sister, your parents, or your friends tell you that this product works, you believe them more than an influencer holding a face cream and asking you to pay like $120 for 10 meals.
That's true. We're going to take a quick break. Everyone stay put. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back after this.
Hi, this is Clara Capano, your host for Women Winning Their Way, where we talk about how you can create success all on your terms. Join us Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Limelight Network here on E360 TV.
Welcome back to the Health Revolution. Welcome back, everybody. My guest today, Dr. Vincent Candrawinata. He is the founder of Renovatio Bioscience. He's a scientist, and the time is just flying by, and you are a huge wealth of knowledge in all things of how we can better our health and at the cellular level. Where can viewers find you?
RenovatioBio.com, or you can also follow us on our Instagram at RenovatioBio. And if you are interested in my podcast or recipe books or all things health, simple tips and tricks to have a healthier life, you can go to AskDrVincent.com as well.
And I know we're running out of time. One quick question I wanted to ask you. What is the one little piece of advice would you give for those who are aspiring to be scientists and just trying to envision how they can impact the world in the science community?
Have a good heart. I know it's cliche, and I know it's something that 100,000 other people might say to you, but I really do believe in that, because my dad says that while it is good to be an important person, it is much more important to be a good person. And I truly, truly believe in that, because especially now, people can spot a fake. People can spot if you are putting it on just to sell products. I really do believe that not only you will sleep better at night because you know that you're doing and putting something good out in the world, it will actually help you to learn and grow as a human being as well. And like I said before, when you have a good heart and good intention, the universe around you conspires to help you. Everybody that you meet may not truly understand what you're trying to do, but they will understand that you are trying to help people, and this is what we want to do. I mean, the name Renovatio was picked by me, and I insisted to have that, even though it's a little bit hard to say, a little bit hard to spell. As a matter of fact, for the first 6 months,
it has a ring to it. It's okay. It has a good ring to it.
Yes. People thought in the first 6 months of our existence that we're either an interior design firm or a building company, because they thought it's renovation.
Oh my goodness. Well, Dr. Vincent Candrawinata, I know you're also known as Dr. Vincent. We can certainly tell you've got a heart for this and your excitement for how this can impact lives. And I'm so very honored to have you on the show. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, and stay tuned for our U.S. expansion. We just came back home from Natural Products Expo West, and hopefully, fingers crossed, if everything travels correctly and smoothly, hopefully we will be in stores near you by the end of the year.
Absolutely. Can't wait. And for all of our viewers, of course, you know that you can find us on the web at thehealthrevolutiontv.com. You can subscribe to our newsletter. You can also email us there with any show ideas that you might have that you would love for us to cover. Upper left-hand corner, you're going to see our QR code. If you want to grab that quickly, absolutely. And then, of course, you can always find us every single Tuesday and Thursday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Achieve TV channel on E360 TV. That is all the time that we have. Until next time, take care of you. We will see you soon.
Thank you.